Very good. Can't tell you how pleased I am to be in this book. It's really quite wonderful. And I always tell my students that writing breeds patience. You become a more patient person by being a writer. I think that's true for editing too, but I know this was torture for you all to put this together, and all you went through, but I really appreciate what you did. Slight complaint though. I was looking over my story and somebody changed some of the dialogue, and which actually changes the meaning through 2 or 3 paragraphs. What I'm going to do though, and I think that actually makes this book more valuable. It's the story, you can find copies of the story elsewhere if you want to read the whole thing. And
we didn't do it, I know that. We were too lazy. We didn't change anybody's words.
Okay, that's fine, but I still think it makes it more valuable. So you want this collector's edition. And so what I'm going to do is I'll just improvise when I come to that paragraph.
Well, you can tell stories about the editor's wife, who's brought up Southern Baptist. I don't know if that is
I haven't seen it. I think there's price and cuss words in it, so we can block your ears. This is a story. It's an Austin story. I've lived in Austin since, I don't know, off and on, mostly on, since about 1978. And I drove a cab for 6 years, and so this is a cab driving story. It's called Riff Raff. At that time, I was still making an effort. I was still trying to get my shit together. It was hard, but I was trying. I was driving a cab on a 24-hour shift, hitting the busy parts of the day, hiding in my motel room when it was slower, resting for a few hours before heading back out on the road. When I was awake in my motel room, I would sometimes watch television. Evangelical preachers in the morning, or psychologists in the afternoon. All of them were trying to give advice to the poor and unfortunate to their audience. All of them spoke at times about hitting bottom. They talked about hitting bottom. I thought that's all there was to it. Splat, bang, you hit bottom, and that's that. The end. Afterwards, your life changed, or it didn't. But what apparently none of them understood was that hitting bottom was really a complicated goddamn process, that when you hit bottom, you bounce like a basketball. Of course, you hit bottom again, and bounce again, and every bounce up a little lower than the bounce before. Every smack against the bottom, duller and longer than the previous one. It's a process that can go on for a long, long time. Your life doesn't change ever, not usually. Me, I sometimes bottom out a little and thudded by a rock house or a bar, but usually I went back to my motel room and stared at the television. I would sit in the gloom and listen to the psychologists and the preachers give advice, listen to the people in the next room argue and fuck, listen to the motel room owners Rottweiler bark at chorus of children. I was really trying. I drove the cab as much as I could. One Sunday near noon, my dispatch terminal beeped and I was directed to go pick up someone named Miller at the Wilderness Road Inn, a seedy motel just up the street from my own seedy motel. I parked the cab outside the room where Miller was supposed to be and honked the horn. Now, company policy dictated the driver was supposed to get up and get out and knock on the door for customers, but I refused to do that. In some parts of town, in sleazy motels, for instance, it could be dangerous. It's illegal for cab drivers to carry firearms, so instead I carried a long, black, heavy steel flashlight. It was okay for threatening to bash drunks over the head with, but of course would not be weapon enough to take on a maniac with a pistol. I waited for a few minutes and honked again. I put the car into gear and was ready to turn around and leave when the door of the room opened and a man came out. Miller, I guessed. He was pale, almost an albino, pale and dressed in black with a red baseball cap on his lank white hair and mirrored sunglasses. He had a fax machine under his arm. He came down the stairs and got into the cab. You want to buy a fax machine? He asked. No, I said. I started the meter. Man, you got a cold fucking no. Miller sat back and laughed at me. He said, listen, pal, I need some extra cash. I need to get rid of this fax machine. You have enough to pay me, right? I looked at him in the mirror, but I couldn't see his eyes behind the sunglasses. Hey, pal, you think I'm stupid enough to get in a cab without any money? Of course I have enough money to pay you. Well, that happens, I said. Hey, pal, not for me. Just stop worrying and start driving, okay? I need to get rid of this goddamn fax machine. Let's try that pawn shop up the street. I pulled out into traffic and went 3 blocks or so to the world of pawn. It seemed like the kind of fare that cab drivers really hated. Driving some fool to a pawn shop for a $3.50 fare, no tip. But Miller was in the world of pawn only for a moment or two, and he came back out with the fax machine. The fuckers won't give me enough for it. He said, I'm going to have to take it back to the store. It's on the north side. I got a receipt. You think that's a good idea? I thought, the north side, that's $20 or so up, $20 or so back. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's probably your best bet, I said. I started pulling out of the parking lot. Oh, these pawn shops aren't going to pay anything. The city was quiet that Sunday and traffic was unusually light. I drove north and found the office depot Miller wanted. He jumped out of the cab and disappeared at the store. I sat there glumly, hoping that he would be quick. The meter ticked up once, then again, and again. No Miller. Then an old fat man in a gray jumpsuit came out of the store. He leaned on his cane, looking at me in the cab, and then walked over to the Cadillac parked next to me and he opened the door. He looked at me again. No one else was in the parking lot. It was as if the streets had emptied and everyone had gone home. No cars, no people, no nothing except the fat old man who was staring at me. I stared back at him. Finally, he walked around his car slowly and came over to the cab. I lowered the window. Well, you know, you're parked in a handicapped parking space, he said. He had this big bald head and round glasses. I looked at the handicapped parking sign in the back of him. I said, yeah. And you don't have handicap plates or a sticker? No, I said, I guess I don't. He planted his cane carefully and leaned over, smiling. He had a huge round head. Well, you know, I'm kind of an activist for handicapped parking rights. My friends call me the Ralph Nader of handicapped parking rights. He chuckled and looked at me proud, I guess, of being the Ralph Nader of handicapped parking rights, but I didn't say anything. After a moment, he said, so I guess I'm going to have to ask you to move. I'm just waiting for a customer, I said. I looked away at the store. It'd only be a minute or two. Well, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to call the police. I'm going to have you arrested. He slowly started to turn away, pivoting on his cane. What? I asked. I couldn't believe it. I'm driving some maniac albino around town for an hour, then I get threatened by an old bald man. You're parked in a handicapped parking zone, and you don't have authorization. The old man took a step back toward me. He wasn't chuckling now. His face was turning red with anger or madness. It spit throughout his mouth when he said the word authorization. I've worked for years working for handicap rights in this city, and I'm not going to have my rights taken away by some damn cab driver. Hey, pal, I said, and I stopped. What did I start calling people pal? It was Miller. Jesus, you know, you drive around with riffraff all day, and you turn into riffraff. And it doesn't take very long either. I said, I'm just waiting for my customer, okay? I don't give a damn about your customer. I'm not going to have my rights taken away by some sleazy cab driver. I remembered another driver once telling me that cabs could park in the handicapped spaces if they were waiting for a customer. So I said, yeah, fuck you, call the cops. What did you say? Call the cops. No, before that, he said. Fuck you, I said. Call the fucking cops. The old man staggered backwards with a shocked look on his face. I hit the window button and the glass rose quickly. And I looked hopefully toward the door, waiting Willie Miller to appear. That's how bad my day had turned. I was praying for some goddamn weirdo to get in my cab. As the old man, let him call the cops. The worst that would happen would be that they'd write me a ticket and I'd stick it in the glove box and forget about it, which is exactly what you do with your kid. But then there was a bang on the rear of the car, and another. I looked around and the old man was beating on my left rear fender of his damn cane. Bang! Bang! I pulled my big black flashlight from beneath the seat and got out of the car. Bang! I said, hey, cut it out. Bang! I said, hey, pal, leave my car the fuck alone. Bang! The old man didn't even look toward me. He was just glaring at my car, red-faced, grimacing, swinging his cane like an axe. Bang! Bang! I dropped my right shoulder and took 2 quick steps forward, swinging the heavy flashlight tight and hard, and I popped that old man right in his collarbone, right at the juncture of his neck and his shoulder. Bang! His fucking dentures flew out of his mouth, and he dropped like a dead piece of meat, cane clattering to the sidewalk, glasses askew, eyes pale in his head. I looked around. The parking lot, the store, the street was still and quiet, silent, empty, as if under some spell. There was no one else around. I looked down at the old man. He was still breathing, I think. The black flashlight was heavy in my hand. Hey, pal, what the fuck is this? I turned, and there was Miller. The red baseball cap was pushed back on his head, and he had a big astonished smile on his white face. And I see a blurred reflection of myself in the glasses. What the fuck did you just do? I said, he attacked my car, so I hit it. He attacked the cab? Oh man, Miller laughed. So let's get the fuck out of here, you dumb shit. I hesitated. Come on, get in, let's go. Miller got in and shut the door. I tossed the flashlight onto the seat and got into the car. I put it in reverse and backed up, careful not to run over the old man. Miller scooted over to the window and looked out at him. Man, you drilled the fucker. He's drooling and shit. Like he might die or something. He won't die, I said. I pulled onto the frontage road, then quickly dashed across 3 lanes and onto the highway. You hope he won't die. Jesus, I'm in a killer cab. I'm a killer cab driver. Maybe I should be scared, huh? He was hitting my cab with his damn cane, I said. Yeah, so you killed him. Miller couldn't stop laughing. Oh, man. Like I'm supposed to let him beat on my cab with his cane? No, fuck no, you're supposed to kill the piece of shit. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you think this is so funny. I kept looking in the mirror, expecting a fleet of cop cars to come chasing me. But there was just the usual light Sunday traffic. Killer, hey, get off here at 11th Street. I need to check on something over on the east side. I got off at the next exit and turned left, crossing the highway and heading east. Yeah, I need a woman. Keep your eyes open for one. I drove slowly on East 11th and turned into Crack Alley and went slowly up the block. There were some sullen-looking young men sitting around the curb watching traffic. Then a drug runner I knew, Wayne, stepped out from behind a car and waved at me. The windows were up. I could hear him yell, "Hey, stop!" Is that a friend of yours? Miller asked. I don't know, maybe. Make a left here and cut over to 12th, Miller said. And there's no chicks here, just a bunch of crack dealers. I made a left and went up to 12th and turned right again. Went east on past Chacon. Miller told me to take a left. There was an ancient barber shop with a no trespassing sign in front and a couple of old men sitting in chairs. They glared at my cab. Miller rolled down the window. Hey, where's the chicks? One of the old men said, get out of here. Miller rolled up the window and said, dumb pieces of shit, they don't know where the chicks are. I made another block and there were 3 girls sitting on the curb in front of a church. Stop, Miller said. He rolled down the window. Hey, Michelle, get over here. One of the girls, tall, very dark, with short, slick hair, got up and walked over to the car. She leaned in the window and looked at Miller. I remember you, she said. Then get in the car and let's go. Miller turned to her friends. Michelle turned to her friends. See you, she said. She got in the car. How you been? Miller asked. I've been okay, Michelle said. Where are we going? Over to my place, Miller said. Well, I want to rock first. Hey, I don't blame you. Life's stressful. My driver here, Killer, he'll take us to get a rock. Michelle looked at me. Well, I know him. I remember him. She reached up and tugged at my ear. I remember you. Oh, man, Miller laughed. You know Killer? Yeah, I remember him somehow, somewhere. Michelle got up between the seats, almost resting her head on my shoulder. I could smell the hair butter she used. It smelled like coconuts. She asked, remember me? Sure. I said, somehow, somewhere? Yeah. Who was the last back girl you slept with? Back girl. Cab driver slang for a woman who sleeps with a cab driver in return for free fare. Ah! Who was the last back girl you slept with? You, I said. Yeah, Michelle said. She was pleased. She sat back next to Miller. Right in the back of the cab. Yeah, you're the one. Oh, man, Miller said. Killer, I'm learning all sorts of things about you. Oh, he's a real good driver, Michelle said. He took me up the roundabout to see my sister and didn't charge me anything. Shit, you should have seen him pop this old man a few minutes ago. He drilled the fucker. You beat up an old man? I frowned. She reached up and tugged my ear again. Why'd you beat up an old man? The old man attacked the cab, Miller said. He didn't have a choice. He just drilled him. I stopped paying attention. It was like they were talking about someone else. It was just noise. I drove aimlessly, going a block, then a right, a block, then a left, a block, a left, right down an alley, whenever, wherever, whatever. I've been bad long enough to know that I knew this part of town fairly well, at least at night. But now, in the daytime, I can see that there's some nice, well-kept houses tucked in along the street, homes probably inhabited by some decent, well-kept people. I also passed 3 places I knew to be crack houses full of riffraff, and a couple more that looked to be full of riffraff. Finally, I came to the house that Michelle wanted. The house I'd seen her in before, something, a big old place with peeling paint and trash bags in the yard. Other trash bags were stapled or taped to the windows, and there was a broken plastic tricycle on the front porch. The house was on a hill, and you could look west across the highway and see downtown, the Capitol, the university, the neon-fringed buildings, civilization. Miller and Michelle went into the house, and I sat waiting for him in the cab, the meter ticking up every now and then, ticking up, ticking up. I sat there looking out the city, the orange sun sinking behind the hills, people driving up down the highway in ignorance. Yeah.